not the one you have. I read it now. No, it's okay. Come again. His Excellency, welcome. His Excellency, welcome. This is an emergency press conference, if there's anything called an emergency press conference. It's a press conference that touches every Nigerian. It's a press conference that touches every Nigerian. Sorry, can we start? Please, can we block off that door once? Welcome, everyone. This is an emergency press conference. We had a world press conference last week. And it might seem a bit odd having another world press conference or a press conference again, but it's an emergency. It's an emergency because we have elections in 2023. It's an emergency because when you check prices of things in the market last year compared to what they are this year, you will see that things are getting from bad to worse every single day. We keep looking for people to blame, and sometimes we don't blame ourselves enough. But I feel that Nigerians should begin to take responsibility of things that happen around them, things that go past their eyes every day, that they call things out and say when things are right and when things are wrong. This morning, let me start from 2 days ago, when Victor Ikoye did a press conference. He brandished some sheets of paper saying there was a court charge against me. There are so many things he says that are not true, so I thought it was one of his false statements. But lo and behold, today, after looking at some charges that were purportedly made by the IG, which I know that the IG is not aware of it, myself and the youth leader were charged to a court in Buhari, Court 40, for falsifying Supreme Court judgments and XYZ, that for writing a letter to all the 5 judges saying to correct the judgment and all kinds of frivolous rubbish charges. And just remember that what they really wanted to do was for these things to have been set up so that they will come and arraign me and be flashing it out to Nigerians and say, look at that man who was claiming to be national chairman, look at him being arraigned. That was their objective. But we started looking further, even looking on their list of witnesses. You find out that the registrar, Mr. Oluwega Owodolu, is one of the police witnesses. Can you imagine that after a correction and after a Supreme Court judge put through the motion of coming out of retirement to correct a falsehood going around, that a registrar of the court will also be part of that as a list for the witness, for the list for the police, or no charges? It is also very, very funny when you look at it, that it's not just the police, it's not just Supreme Court, also INEC. You see that there's been a concerted effort to make sure that the candidates are not allowed to go for the election, by members of staff of Supreme Court writing letters to INEC, writing letters to the police. The police will use the letters, come and arrest me, maybe I'll run away to London, and maybe everybody here will run away. But they made a mistake. We will never run away because we are at the side of the truth. You find out that even all the while people are calling out Mahmoud Yakubu in INEC. How are you sure it's not the legal department? How are you sure? Because it was the same legal department during the Anambra elections that went head over heels with a report to the commission that Jude Okeke, my deputy who removed me, should be recognized. He did the same convention as I did, because they are coming out to say, did they monitor my convention? If INEC knew they did not monitor the convention, why did they recognize Jude Okeke as the acting national chairman when I was removed? Suddenly, when it got to the Court of Appeal and I couldn't join, They now recognize Victor here because of his name that was there. Suddenly, the Supreme Court has actually brought everything down by making the correction. They refuse, they keep a blind eye. And we keep blaming Mahmoud Yakubu. But is beginning to look as if it's the legal department. People there buying houses, not in Jabi, in the last 3 months, 4 months, members of that legal team. Where are they getting all these monies from? What is really happening? The amount of dollars flying around in Supreme Court. What is really going on? Then the police. Because I am sure that it is not the IG. Because on the 13th of October, we wrote a petition to the IG asking him that we are worried about the investigator, one Ezekiel. And immediately, he put him aside and brought in another investigator. A week after that, after the Ezekiel had been removed from the case, he rushes and files a charge. Now, these charges he did, he couldn't have done it on his own. There must have been some senior officers he used. Who are these senior officers who can damn what the IG of police has done? Who are these people in the Supreme Court who don't care about the judgments by the judges? Who are these people in INEC who keep twatting the thing? Nigeria, open your eyes. It looks as if it's just APGA, but it is no longer just APGA. It is an organized crime. An organized set, very well organized and well oiled by those your monies that's now making a painter, a model of Gary, no longer 100, but 500. Plantains that a bunch used to be 1,500, now 4,000. These are all our monies being moved out in dollars to be able to sustain all these things. We must call them to order. We must call them. We must ask the chairman of INEC to look deeply into why Judo KK was recognized after the lower court, and Njoko, after the Supreme Court has dismissed his case, is not recognizing him. Mahmoud, that is the first time I've called you out. Look at that and tell me why. Why did you recognize Judo KK at the lower court? That's the only assignment you have. Look at that. And now tell me, if he could be recognized by instantly suspending me, why should I not be recognized when the Supreme Court has firmly dismissed the case and asked it to go back to the status quo? And also mentioned in the judgment that Chief Edozie Njoku's removal is not justiciable. You can't remove him. It's an internal affair of the party. I had so many things to say, but I've released much of them in a press writing. All I want to say is, Nigerians, shine your eyes and stop running away from your responsibilities as people. Stand up to the truth. Thank you very much.
On behalf of our vice presidential candidate, Ajia Hadiza Mohammed, sitting here with me, and on behalf of all the candidates of APGA, all legitimate and lawful candidates of APGA, who have been restrained and constrained by the unfortunate non-recognition of the authentic and Supreme Court recognized national chairman of the party, Chief Edozie Njoku. By not recognizing him, by not obeying the judgment of the Supreme Court, we are unable to join others in the campaign. And APGA is being put in a very precarious situation. Because any person parading himself today as a candidate of APGA, even from 2019, has done anything that is not done by him, has gone against the judgment of the court. From 2019 till this day, it has to be known. Therefore, my own is not to repeat what he has said, because he has made the point very clearly. Mine is to draw the attention of the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, to draw the attention of the National Assembly that appropriated 355 billion naira of taxpayers' money for INEC to conduct the general election of 2023, to draw the attention of all political parties and candidates who are going about campaigning thinking there will be an election if APGA is excluded. There will not be one. The attention of the police, the attention of the DSS, the attention of the National Security Advisor, because if Nigeria goes up in flame, he has a job to do. Waking up one day to know that this election has been stopped because of non-compliance and exclusion of a political party can bring this country down. I'm drawing the attention of all those concerned, including the international community, to what is happening that will bring so much scandal to our country, home and abroad. I've had the courts over time, over this period, to consult with so many senior lawyers, justices of court, both serving and retired, and they will shake their heads in wonder that they have never seen a thing like this happen in the entire jurisprudence of this country. That certified judgment of the Supreme Court, duly served on the Independent and National Electoral Commission by an executive bailiff of the Supreme Court, with a sworn affidavit of service, will practically be set aside by the mere statement of a director of communication of a court, a staff, who took advantage of the courts being on recess to make himself available to be so procured to do what has never been done in the history of this country. And people seem to think it is a Dozie Njoku's problem or merely an APGA problem or internal affairs or problem. This is a major national calamity that is waiting to explode. That is the point I wish to make. Thank you very much.
I said that from what I see in the Supreme Court, where Uwodolu is now a witness to the police, where he was the registrar that actually signed who signed it for them, where we now see that someone like what's his name, Ezekiel from the police, I don't know their surnames, is going against an instruction from his hierarchy, the top hierarchy, and going out to charge me in the police, that we should also be very, very careful that we are not blaming the wrong person who is Yakubu. You know, the next when something goes wrong in INEC, we start shouting Yakubu, Yakubu. How are we sure? Because he has been waiting for the legal department to advise him. And it's the legal department who advised, who I'm sure of this, who advised that Jude Okeke, when I was removed, should be given that acting position. When rumors are flying around that members of the legal department are buying houses, these are rumors. I never was there when anybody was given any money. They could have obtained money from a will of someone that died, but all this should be looked into. And he, Mahmoud, should go forward and inquire, how did we give Jude Okeke recognition, recognizing the Owerri Convention, when you removed Chief Njoku in Jigawa, and then the Supreme Court has finally spoken, and you are not recognizing him? Do you understand my? So it's better that you iterated it. I am not aware of anybody in the legal collecting, but there's so many fishy things going around, and we Nigerians are beginning, or we should start asking serious questions. Start asking people, how do they get their wealth to buy all these big houses? How do they get their wealth to buy these expensive 50 million cars? Nigerians should start asking questions when they have the impunity to be doing certain things they are doing and thinking they are above the law. We are going to start asking questions.
Yeah. Two big ones. Sorry. Go ahead. What happened last night?
Okay, let me answer to that. We are not children, and we've consistently said it, that INEC are recognizing Victor Ikoye. So wherever they go, they are going under the recognition of, and we are fighting to get ourselves recognized. So we're not going to make it an issue that they were anywhere they were. It's not an issue. On enforcement of the order, we have just served INEC. Hold me back. INEC was served, the bailiffs of the Supreme Court served INEC previously, and a further letter and a press release said that what we had was fake from staff of the Supreme Court. Now, the people who did the judgment have come out to say there is no forgery, that they actually did amend that judgment on the 9th of May. So we have reminded them of the service that was done on them by the Supreme Court bailiffs, one, and two, that if they were worried about forgery, that this letter from the lead justice has cleared the air on that, unambiguously, very clearly has said, and she wouldn't come out to lie, which all of us here know, Oye knows, and everybody knows that she's beyond that level to come out to start lying about what she did and what she didn't do.
My question is, if by today, INEC recognize you as national chairman and your candidate, what would be the fate ahead of the 2023 elections?
The fate of the 2023 election is that APGA will be fully represented. What other fate?
Yeah, with the electoral act, the new electoral act,
Yeah.
that you submit.
We have all the requirements of INEC have been fulfilled by us. Every aspect of our primaries, every aspect of everything, we judiciously did it and even got our lawyers to write INEC with everything we did. So we have, everything is in order. Once we are recognized, all they need is just a short period of a week or two for us to upload and do all the necessary, bring the candidates in to fill out their INEC form. They've done all the necessary things they need to do. Forward.
Chairman, mine is just one question.
Yeah.
I am just a list from the guy. You mentioned that the Inspector General of Police gave a directive on one of his officers to hand over investigation into this matter to another investigator. My question now is, have you or your lawyers tried to reach the IG to know his position on this recent arraignment?
What we have done is that we've written the IG again, and we intend to do that. We intend to do that. And I'm sure he'll be so taken aback because one of the reasons why he brought in the new investigator was to avert what has just happened, where the police force is rubbished by someone who has got ulterior motives.